Breaking news, my country people. It's obvious that the situation of things is getting out of hands in this country. We also have protests broke out in Nasarawa state after the Supreme Court affirmed Sule as the governor of the state. We saw heavy protests. Massive protests broke out where some residents of the state they stormed the streets of Lafia, the state capital, to protest against the outcome of the Supreme Court judgment that affirmed the election of Governor Abdullahi Sule, and major roads were blocked by protesters in the state. We have the Lafia Just roads where they burnt tires and they chanted anti-government songs. So many shops, business centers, and schools within the area were hurriedly closed down to protect lives and properties. Now we all know how the Supreme Court recently upheld the election of Abdullahi Sule as the governor of Nasarawa State. Justice Kudirat in the lead judgment had resolved all the issues identified for determination against the People's Democratic Party and its candidate David Omodu Gadu, and the court thereafter dismissed the appeal. On Tuesday, it was reported that the Supreme Court had reserved its judgment in Nasarawa State's governorship appeal filed by the PDP and its candidate David. Justice Kudirat, who had led a 5-member panel of the Apex Court on Tuesday, announced after lawyers to parties made their final submissions that judgment was reserved and the parties would be notified when it was ready. The PDP and its candidates sought to set aside the November 23rd, 2023 judgment of the Court of Appeal, which reversed the earlier judgment of the Election Tribunal seeking to sack Governor Sule of the All Progressive Congress (APC) in the March 18, 2023 governorship election in the state. And over time, immediately the judgment was given by the Supreme Court, massive protests broke out in Nasarawa State. They tagged it the over miscarriage of justice by the Supreme Court, that it was unfortunate that the judicial reforms initiated by the former president, late Umaru Musa Yar'Adua's administration and carried on by Dr. Goodluck Jonathan's government had been left to deteriorate by their successors, Muhammad Buhari and the incumbent Bola Ahmed Tinubu. A big judicial haste happened 4 years ago in Imo State. 2 bigger electoral fraud happened in 2023 in Nasarawa and Ogun States. Both have won the garment of legality by the Supreme Court. Unfortunately, God will protect the common man. So we saw how the governorship election petitions tribunal on October 2nd, 2023, how they sacked Governor Sule of the APC and declared David of the PDP the winner of the election. However, the APC and its candidates were not satisfied with the tribunal judgment. Hence, they filed an appeal at the Court of Appeal to set aside the judgment. And then the appellate court overturned the tribunal's judgment and affirmed the election of the APC's candidates. But the PDP candidates had to approach the Supreme Court for the final verdict on the matter. As we all know, the Supreme Court is the apex court, and any electoral matters ends at the Supreme Court. So at this point, before then, the Nasarawa State Police Command has signed a peace agreement with the leaders of the PDP and the APC in the state ahead of the Supreme Court judgment. So chaos and crisis would not break out. And then over time, we heard that so many people were agitated over this ruling by the Supreme Court. How the APC National Chairman Abdullahi Ganduje also played a role in securing one of the members of the panel from Katsina State, The Nasarawa State Governor Suli is originally from Yobe, and two judges on the panel are from the same Yobe. So many people have frowned at this. A lot of people are saying so many things about this, that they have been a miscarriage of justice here, and they are not going to take it. Heavy crisis broke out, and there were so many casualties. So many casualties, guys. This is just the aftermath of the governorship election matters. This is just the aftermath. After elections, you see so many things happening. And you know, where there is protest, there will be massive arrests. Both young and old, men and women, they were all arrested. So many people have been arrested over this protest. Now, the Nigerian police had confirmed the arrest of over 38 protesters, including aged women, over the protests that happened. So, guys, a lot of things is really happening in this country. And ever since, the Supreme Court gave its final judgment, which affirmed Governor Abdullahi Sule as the winner of the March 18th governorship election, crisis broke out in the state. Protests took place in the state capital. So at this point, the police had to, step in, and they started arresting some people because people were agitated. They blocked roads, they blocked major roads, they burned tires, which obstructed vehicle movement and even interrupted business activities and other commercial activities. So many things have happened. So my country people, it is hot in Nasarawa State. Everywhere is hot at this moment. And with the news on ground, it was even said that the Nasarawa governor had to go pay a visit to the president, that he paid a visit to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu after the Supreme Court. Immediately after the Supreme Court, he ran to the Aso Rock Villa and paid a visit to the president, saying thank you to the president. Now we ask ourselves, how come the Supreme Court declared you the winner of the election, and the first thing you do is run to the president and say thank you? Are you showing a good example as a governor? Is that the good example you are showing to the people? So my country people, a lot of things are being said. So many people are talking that it seems that this judgment was not, a favorable one at that. Most states, also got judgments. Delta, other states, Ogun, but we didn't hear much protest. But immediately the Supreme Court gave it judgment in Nasarawa State, all of a sudden, protests broke out. Guys, what are your thoughts on this? I'm dropping here, guys. Kindly share your thoughts concerning this in the comment section. Thank you.